Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into Ruskin Bond's really poignant story, Can't Climb Trees Anymore. It's this beautiful tale about how returning to a place from our childhood, well, it's not just a trip down memory lane. It's often a search for a piece of ourselves we thought was gone for good.
So the story kicks off with a man just standing by the road, gazing over a garden wall at his old house. He's totally lost in thought. And then he's pulled back to reality by this simple, direct question from a young girl. This one question, it sets our whole journey into the past in motion.
You see, he's standing on the exact spot where a turnstile used to be, a place he'd swing on as a kid until he was dizzy. But now, it's just a solid wall. And that's really the first big sign that, yep, 25 years have definitely passed.
Right away, he starts noticing all these changes, the wall, some new building, but then he feels this wave of relief when he sees one thing is exactly as he remembers it, the old jackfruit tree, standing there like a silent, leafy witness to his entire childhood.
And that voice that interrupted him, well, it belongs to a girl, maybe 12 or 13 years old, and she becomes this incredible, unexpected bridge between the man's middle-aged present and his boyhood past as they start talking across the wall.
So he explains his connection to the house, telling her his family sold it after his grandmother died. And you can just imagine the girl listening, trying to piece together this visitor from another time who's just staring at her home.
When she asks him how old he is, this is his answer. And you know what? To prove it, to really grab onto that fleeting feeling of youth, he decides he's going to climb over the garden wall instead of just walking around to the gate.
He actually mutters this to himself as he's struggling at the top of the wall, breathing heavily. It's this funny but also really telling moment about the actual physical limits of his reclaimed youth. He might feel young, but his body is definitely reminding him otherwise.
Okay, so once he's safely inside, they sit on a bench under a mango tree. And the man points to that big old jackfruit tree and reveals that it was his favorite place in the whole world, a secret hiding spot for his most important childhood treasures.
He describes himself as a bit of a crow, just collecting great and interesting things. Marbles he'd won, some old coins, a book he definitely wasn't supposed to be reading. But one of these items, well, it holds a special kind of significance with a story that crosses generations and even battlefields.
Now, this is what's so fascinating. The medal wasn't actually his grandfather's award. It was a spoil of war, a piece of history from some unknown enemy soldier, passed down to a boy who just saw it as another shiny treasure.
So, when the girl asks if he still has the medal, he reveals the real kicker of his story. In all the excitement of leaving home as a boy, packing up for a new life, he just forgot it. It might still be there, hidden away in the tree this whole time. And here the man has to admit what he just learned trying to get over the garden wall. He really can't climb trees anymore. So, without even a moment's hesitation, the young girl volunteers to go up and look for the lost medal herself.
And just like that, she effortlessly does the one thing he can now only remember doing. She physically bridges that 25-year gap to go and retrieve a piece of his past for him. It's just incredible. She runs back to him, totally breathless, with the treasure held out in her hand. He takes it, turns it over in his palm, and yep, he confirms it's the Iron Cross.
So the girl, she thinks she's totally solved the puzzle. She says, "Now I know why you came. You wanted to see if it was still in the tree." But the thing is, she's only partly right. The medal isn't the whole story, not by a long shot.
I mean, really? Was this whole journey just about some forgotten trinket? Was it all just to find this rusty old piece of metal? The man's answer reveals the true, much, much deeper purpose of his pilgrimage.
He gives the medal to the girl. He tells her it's hers now, because the medal itself was never the treasure he was actually searching for. It was just the catalyst, the key that unlocked the feeling of being young again, even if it was just for one afternoon.
As he walks away from the house, you can just feel it. There's a new sprightliness in his step. The memory of that girl, the mango-scented breeze, it makes the blood course in his veins, and for a fleeting moment, he genuinely forgets all about the limitations of his age.
And so, the story leaves us with a question, doesn't it? We might not be able to physically go back. We probably can't climb the same trees we used to. But maybe, just maybe, by connecting with the people and places of our past, we can reclaim a feeling we thought was lost forever.